The Zephyrian High Council had studied the target species for 3 standard cycles before issuing the extermination order. Humans, they concluded, were nothing more than primitive bipeds clinging to a single blue world in an unremarkable spiral arm. Their technology was crude, their society fractured, and their lifespans laughably brief. The Council's finest hunters, the Kethmori, would make quick work of them. Commander Vexthal flexed his 4 arms as he reviewed the mission parameters aboard the Shadowfang. Each of his kind stood 9 feet tall, their chitinous exoskeletons, capable of deflecting most energy weapons. The Kethmori had purged 17 worlds of inferior species over the past century. Earth would be their 18th victory. "The humans won't even see us coming," Vexthul growled to his lieutenant, mandibles clicking with amusement. "Their primitive detection systems can't pierce our cloaking fields." The fleet of 12 vessels entered Earth's solar system with the confidence of apex predators. They had done this before: establish orbital superiority, eliminate military installations, then systematically hunt down survivors. It was a proven formula. But as the Shadowfang approached Earth's moon, something felt wrong. "Commander," his sensor operator hissed, "I'm detecting artificial structures on the satellite's dark side. This wasn't in our intelligence reports." Vexthul's 4 eyes narrowed as the tactical display updated. Massive installations dotted Luna's hidden face. Industrial complexes, defense platforms, and structures that defied immediate classification. How had their long-range scouts missed this? "Maintain approach vector," he ordered. "Prepare primary weapons." The answer came in the form of a transmission that somehow bypassed their encrypted channels entirely. A human face appeared on the main screen, weathered, scarred, with eyes that held an unsettling intensity. "Welcome to Sol System," the human said calmly. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. Your vessels have been tracked since you entered our outer sensor grid 3 days ago." Vexthul's mandibles clicked in confusion. 3 days? Impossible. Their cloaking technology was... "Your stealth fields are impressive," Chen continued, as if reading his thoughts. "But you're radiating in spectrums you probably don't even know exist. We've been watching you stumble through our neighborhood like a drunk Regellian at a peace summit." The tactical display suddenly lit up with contacts, hundreds of them. Ships decloaking all around the Kethmori fleet, rising from behind asteroids, emerging from lunar installations, and dropping out of what humans apparently called hyperspace jumps, with impossible precision. But these weren't the crude chemical rockets the intelligence reports had described. These vessels moved with deadly grace, their hulls sleek and predatory. Energy signatures indicated power sources that shouldn't have been possible for such a primitive species. "How?" Vexthul whispered. Admiral Chen smiled, an expression that somehow managed to be both warm and terrifying. "You want to know our secret? We don't just adapt to survive, we adapt to hunt." The first wave of human torpedoes struck the Kethmori shields with devastating efficiency. The weapons didn't just explode, they seemed to learn from each impact, subsequent warheads adjusting their frequencies to penetrate deeper with each strike. "Impossible!" Vexthul roared. "Return fire! All batteries!" The Kethmori plasma cannons unleashed their fury. But the human ships moved like living things, weaving through the barrage with an almost organic fluidity. Worse, some of the human vessels seemed to be absorbing the plasma, their hull-mounted collectors drinking in the energy before redirecting it back at their attackers. "Evasive maneuvers!" Vexthul commanded. But it was too late. The humans had anticipated every possible escape vector. They fought like a pack of persistence hunters, coordinating with inhuman precision while maintaining an almost casual creativity that defied tactical prediction. As his flagship shuddered under sustained fire, Vexthul realized the horrible truth. The primitive humans hadn't just spotted their approach, they had wanted to be found. This entire system was a trap, and the Keth Mori had walked directly into it. Another transmission cut through their communications. This time, it was a different, human, younger, with burn scars covering half his face. "This is Captain Marcus Webb of the TDF Retribution. Funny thing about humans, big guy. We've got this nasty habit of learning from our mistakes. See, your people hit our colony on Kepler 442b about 18 months ago." Vexthul's blood ran cold. That had been a classified operation. "How did they—" "Took us a while to figure out who did it," Webb continued conversationally, as human fighters swarmed around the dying Keth Mori vessels. "But once we did, well, we started preparing for your return visit. Hope you don't mind the welcome party." The Shadow Fang bucked as its engines failed. Through the smoke and sparks, Vexthul watched his fleet, his invincible fleet, being systematically dismantled by creatures they had dismissed as barely sentient animals. "You want to know the real difference between us?" Admiral Chen's voice cut through the chaos one final time. "When you encounter a superior predator, you submit or die. When we encounter a superior predator, we study it, understand it, and then we become it. We don't just survive, we evolve." As the Shadowfang's hull breached and emergency bulkheads sealed, Vexthul understood with crystal clarity why the humans' home system had been so poorly defended in their intelligence reports. It hadn't been poorly defended. It had been bait. The Keth Mori had come to Earth as hunters, but in the cold vacuum of space, surrounded by the wreckage of his fleet and the patient, circling vessels of humanity, Vexthul realized they had only succeeded in revealing the location of the galaxy's newest apex predator. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity was just getting started.